What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host, MB and Klew. What's going
Hey,
on? What's good, MB? It's always a pleasure and an honor to just be able to hang out with my big bro, man. I learned so much from this guy, man. Just not even football wise, man, but about life, man. He was a special confidant and kind of taught me what it meant, to live a life for God and in the NFL, y'all, where you have access to any and everything, y'all. I'm talking about any and everything. And I said, MB, I'm gonna hang out with you, bro. I'm gonna come to your house, and him and Shelly used to let me come hang out, man. And sometimes they be upstairs, and I'm in the basement. That basement that they throw MB in. That way he used to throw. Remember that MB? I just be
yeah,
down there hanging out.
yeah, no doubt. That was a good basement. That's the man cave, baby. That's definitely the man cave. That was a nice little basement, man.
Yeah, man, that was sweet. And actually, man, throwing it all the way back, we used to have Monday night Bible studies in there, and guys, Monday night was a little bit different. Obviously, we couldn't go to church on Sunday.
Right.
We was a little busy.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so what we would do is Monday nights, after really we had film and all that earlier that day,
Right.
but Monday nights we meet up around about 7 MB, I think it was. Have
Yeah,
a little have a little church, basically like a little mini praise and worship. A word from a visiting pastor that was, around, not far from us, would just come over, give a word. Generally, they would bring like their praise and worship team, and we'll have a word, and then we'll watch the game. Of course, y'all, I'm a sleephead, so MB always knew I was gonna hit that exit button soon when the game came on. I started tipping.
yeah. That was a good little time. We had a little, like you say, little chewing chat. Then the Abundant Life, they sent Clay Bogans. They sent a praise and worship team over. Dwayne Jennings. Man, because we couldn't go to church on Sunday, so it was like,
Right.
okay, we can't go on Sunday. We're gonna make our own church service on Monday, man. So
Right.
it was a blessing. George McGovern, our team chaplain, used to come, and we'll have
Absolutely, George. What's up, George?
yeah, we'll have like a visiting, like he said, visiting pastor, because typically Mondays is most pastors' day off. So they was gracious enough to come and give us a word, or George would give us a word, or I'll say something, man. That was a full live church service going
Oh, it
on,
was.
man. And
It
then
was.
my man Bruce Darden, he used to cook for us and stuff. He'll cater
Oh
some food for
yeah.
us. Man, he put his foot in that food, man. That thing was so good, you know.
Yeah, I forgot about that, LB.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah,
there was always grub in the
yeah,
building. There
yeah.
was
It was
always
good.
grub.
It
Well,
was,
well, man, we appreciate y'all ballers for checking in with us, stopping by. Get what? Pulling up. You hollered at us because you know us. That's that old school. Holler at me, boy. You know me. Well, look, uh, in MB's words, coronavirus strikes again, baby. Early in the week, the Big Ten had to announce it. MB, what they talking about, man?
Cancer,
Who
cancer.
threw? Nebraska canceled. Nebraska Wisconsin game
Yep,
canceled.
yep, yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, out of the blue, Wisconsin got a couple cases, and then it just ran rampant throughout the program. Now, the first thing that I thought about MB was, dang, Wisconsin about to be on their third quarterback
Right.
because the guy Mertz, who was a problem,
Yep.
guess who he was? He was their second team. He won the job due to injury because their starter got hurt in preseason.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. So then they were to number 2. So then I was like, man, they down to number 3. And guess what, MB, by midday, they said number 3 done pop Corona too. He got
Right.
it too. So I'm like, number 4, who we finna watch? A tight end or a receiver playing quarterback? That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. And then it
Wildcat.
just kept hitting. And then they shut it down, MB. They just
Yeah.
said, the heck with it. We got to shut this program down for a minute.
Yeah, it was just Wildcat, man. They was going to be in the Wildcat, but they shut it down. They had like 16 positive tests. Even the head coach got affected with it. And so, man, they obviously did the right thing. I think they had some kind of parameter they was following that, like red. You know, it seemed like a terrorist alert. They was like, okay, orange, red, based on how many positive tests you have, you can pull the plug. But they did the right thing. Barry Alvarez, who early in the offseason, you know, he was talking about how not having sports, the big impact is going to make financially. Man, he did the right thing. He shut it down. Like, look, man, like I said in the beginning, health it's all about the health and protection of these kids. So they definitely did the right thing. But obviously, like you said, football wise, they would have. I mean, you lost it. The dude that was starting, who had a great day, like you said, had an outstanding day, over 90% completion, 20 for 21. He was a problem all last week, and then now they had to go to the other guy. Then he tested. I mean, I don't know. They'd had intramural tryouts, man, or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Quarterback, man.
I forgot who that was years ago, MB. That they was having so many issues that kicker that they invited. Was it Florida? They invited like a bunch of just whoever on campus that could kick somebody. MB. It was a few years back. You remember that story though? Like they was like, man, bump.
I'm trying to think if that was Miami.
Oh, it might. It seemed like it was closer to home, so it might be Miami or Florida or somebody. But I remember they said, look, man, everybody, come out here. So they might have did a quarterback call at Wisconsin.
Yeah, you know, and the thing about it, man, with them testing positive, I mean, right now the earlier they're projected to resume play, because they shut it down for like 7 days. They canceled the game, shut it down for 7 days. And then the earliest possible, I think now their game against Purdue may be in jeopardy if they don't get the green light again. But the thing about Big Ten, they're not postponing anything because they started so late. It canceling, you know. So ain't no, because of them trying to pack it in. And then on top of that, Klew, one of the things that's definitely, they took it to another level. Was that with the quarterback, if you're a player, you test positive, you got to sit out 21 days.
Yes, sir. Yes,
21.
Sir.
I mean, that's that. They don't took the CDC recommendation. They don't add. They put like, let me add something to that. You know,
right?
Typically, it's from 10 to 14, or unless you Nick Saban, you get 3 positive tests. I mean, 2 negative tests. But I mean,
don't do Nick like that. You know, Pac Jam probably listening. He gonna have something to say. He's gonna have something to say about you.
Hey man, they serious. I mean, 21 days. They were like, I mean, that's you talking about half the short season. Just think about it, man. That's a game changer. And obviously, man, they taking, you know, testing the cardiac testing for the heart, cardiac tests and stuff like that. But that be out 21 days.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh,
that's tough. I mean, that's true. In their situation, that you can call that a season. And so that's what I said. Is the national championship season for Wisconsin, is it over? Because quiet as it kept on their campus, on their yard, they thought they had a shot at this. You know, they were walking around kind of confident and believing in themselves. And, you know, they came out on fire. We didn't talk a lot about the game, maybe because it was Illinois, but they beat them to sleep. It wasn't close.
They always been historically a good team, you know. They always been a contender. Always, you know, you can't sleep on Wisconsin. You know, they get it done, man. I know, when I was coaching at Miami, they beat us, man. They always give you some issues, man, and they always creep up on somebody. So I'm like, wow. But even when they come back, right? I mean, they're gonna be out with their both of their quarterbacks, they're gonna be down to 4th string. I mean, what? That's tough, man. A coach got a better chance of coming back because the coaches only got to sit out for 10 days.
Correct.
But the player got to sit out 21. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's very difficult. So I looked at them and I said, it's a wrap for y'all this year. And because remember, this was the toughest game allegedly that Ohio State would get.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Now that goes out of the window. Now Ohio State playing jamborees, baby.
Well, I
All
don't
the
know.
way.
I wouldn't go too far. I know Penn State took that L last week, and to me,
Boy, stop.
yeah, no, Penn State. I'm saying I wouldn't call Penn State a jamboree. I mean, Penn State, you got to look at it like this. They lost against Indiana. They held the Indiana 211 yards. Their defense was out there smacking. I mean, it's a much better defense than Ohio State going to face last week against Nebraska, and Nebraska kind of beat Ohio State up front. But I'm just saying, even the fact is, I think I'm predicting Ohio State to win, but Penn State, man, were they looking ahead? Did they take the cheese? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Overlook Indiana, looking forward to Ohio State. That could be a possibility, but I think it's going to definitely be a much better game this week, man. And but yeah, that's the thing. Penn State, their defense, their overall team is a whole lot better than what Nebraska is. You know, so I wouldn't say they Ohio State jamboree all the way, JV all the way. Penn State, they got some players, man. They can get it done. They definitely led with that defense, man.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm Ryan Day, I'm breathing a sigh of relief, knowing that probably one of my toughest matchups just gonna be trying to field the team.
Exactly, no doubt. I definitely agree. We need to find out when they play them because you know that if by the time they play them, the quarterbacks will be back, and then we'll definitely get a good game. You know.
Right, absolutely. You look that up while I continue. So
okay, cool.
You know, and speaking about that corona, that Rome.
Not the what's my man Snoop Dogg doing Corona commercial, not that Corona.
Yeah. So look, guess what? Boston College has been affected as well. Not personally, but guess what? They don't have to see Trevor Lawrence. No Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence has contracted the coronavirus, so he's now in Corona protocol, and that's 14 days for him.
Right. Yeah, 14 days, and actually he taking a little heat because he was the one that said we want the play movement. He was like, we're safer here at the school as opposed to being at home. And obviously he's like the poster child of college football in general. So anytime he get it, it's definitely going to be a big news. But man, you're right. Boston College get the benefit from this because Boston College is one of those teams you can't sleep on. They getting better and better last week. I mean, just beat poor Georgia Tech. I thought it'd be a game, man, but they got that running game going. They got a quarterback that's doing good, and now they got the running game going on fire. So it's one of those games that it's not going to be an easy cakewalk for Clemson. Obviously, Clemson got the talent, but they're not as talented as they've been in the past. And now they got a freshman quarterback who played a little bit against Miami. That's a big joker. That's a grown man.
Yes, sir.
What's his name? DJ. I don't know how. I ain't even attempt to say his last name, but he 12 for 19 for 102 yards. He was USA Today National Player of the Year and #1 drop back quarterback, man. But that dude, he and the thing I like about it, because if you got NTN, you don't have to carry the team. You know, they can, and I like the way Clemson call a game plan, get the ball in their playmaker's hand, make it so he don't feel like he got to do too much. So obviously it's a big loss with Lawrence not being there, but I think Clemson got enough around him to get it done, you know?
MB, I just want to know how many times they're going to run quarterback power.
Exactly. That's over 250.
You hear specifically, I said quarterback power, not no quarterback read option. That's different. Quarterback power, because that joker ran quarterback power against Miami, and I saw two guys move out the way. Like,
they ain't want none of that joker. That's a grown man. And then, hey Lou, he got a nice little strong arm too. You know,
right?
I don't know. I haven't seen him go through his progression yet and whatnot, but like I said, Clemson gonna make it easy for him. You know, they get off that game plan. Their whole offense is not. You know, they'll take shots when they need to take shots, but getting in the playmaker's hand, the screens and the bubble screens and receiving all that stuff, low stuff. So we'll see. But Boston College, man, this is definitely, something they licking, they chopping. They like, they've been throwing a big Scooby snack, baby. More than that, they better take advantage of it.
Hey, they were looking at this a week ago, thinking, "Golly, boy, we got to see them." And then they read the news clipping yesterday, and so you're saying there's a chance?
Exactly, no doubt. And it's definitely a chance because they play good. They
Well,
play hard.
talking about chances, MB, number 4 Notre Dame going to the A, and I think all them gonna go check out them signature Lou William Libben Peppers barbecue, baby, because Georgia Tech ain't got a chance, man. Talking about teams getting worse during the year, MB, it's very rare you say that. But
Yeah.
I think when you think Georgia Tech right now, you start to think, man, they started so high. You saw a freshman quarterback that was starting to make good decisions and choices, and all of a sudden, they done fell off a wagon, man. And it's like, boy, now y'all the team. Hey, in my Denny Green voice, they were who we thought they were.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Man, you know, I was liking Georgia Tech, especially when I saw them beat up on Florida State. I was like, and I saw some players. I said, man, they got some players back there because Georgia is one of the few states where you really don't have to lead a state to get players.
Yep.
I mean, you got everything you need. Big old country boys from the South, skilled players from the city, you know, so it's got a lot of talent, man. And when I saw those guys play, it was flying around. So I'm definitely disappointed. I'm definitely surprised, you know, how well Boston College just manhandled them last week. And you mentioned about the freshman players to start with the quarterback, and obviously thought he'll turn that corner, but he's going through a lot of growing pains, you know, through some costly interceptions last week and stuff like that. So, you know, with Notre Dame coming off a really impressive win against Pitt, even though they faced a backup quarterback, right? But they were getting it done, and they won a lot of those 50-50 balls. So and especially if I don't see anything. You know, I see Notre Dame continue to play. Only thing you got to be concerned about Notre Dame not looking ahead. You know, because you talk about the you know, Lawrence being affected with the coronavirus. Well, that potentially can carry over to the following week against their showdown with Notre Dame. You know, because they play Notre Dame the following week. And based on protocol, based on whenever he goes in quarantine, he's got to at least be quarantined for 10 days. And he's right at that mark because he got tested Wednesday and got his test results Thursday. So there's a chance that he may play 10 days is right on the Saturday, November 7th.
So
he could potentially not practice all week and just show up to play the game and play. So it's crazy.
And
so
I know
think about that though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about the potential of that where, say, if this dude's not able to play, then they take an L against Notre Dame. How would that look? What would the college football committee to look at that loss? And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot, bro.
Well, that's Trevor Heisman, baby.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think Clemson will get the benefit of the doubt. And remember, they're one of the Power 5 conferences that decided to go ahead and play. So now they looking 9-1-ish. You see what I'm saying? Which is different, which is the question I posed, remember, earlier with the Big Ten about what it looked like being 7-1. 7-1, 9-1, man. Those two different situations. And I think they would get the benefit of the doubt of that. Notre Dame, man, they've been chugging along. Probably the most underrated out of the top 5s. Like, nobody's discussing them. They're not a conversation piece. They have a really good running back. The quarterback's just so. He's too up and down for me, MB. Defensively, they're just solid. But it's a bunch of no-name Notre Dame guys. We're not accustomed to that. We're normally used to being able to say this one, that one, this one. But now, all of a sudden, it's like a bunch of guys, and you and I know best, MB. A lot of times, those tend to be really tough teams to beat when you can't just peg one guy and say, "Hey, we gonna stop him."
Yeah, that's why the head coach just kind of doubled down. He said, "I don't forget talking 1 week at a time. I'm looking ahead, man. I'm ready." He ready to win some championships. So, and this was before the whole Lawrence thing went down. So, like you say, he knows something that we don't know.
Hey, and speaking of jumping ahead, y'all know me, man. I listen. Hey, I believe the press clippings. I jump out there on a limb, a little small limb. UNC going to UVA, MB. UNC again, a team that I still don't understand. Well, I'm just so upset with them losing to Florida State the way they did. Then they come back and they have a great game. Really, they end up having a great second half in Florida State, to be perfectly honest with you. They played like team we knew they were. Second half against Florida State. They carry over against NC State and take a good NC State team, y'all, and dominate them. Like early on in the game, it was back and forth, but you could see UNC was making mistakes. NC State wasn't stopping them. And then they just take off, blow that game away. Now they're at UVA, a team that, MB talked a lot about last week in the game of Miami. MB, what do you see in this game?
Well, I mean, with North Carolina, they still trying to, surprisingly figure out who they are because they had, got the quarterback and, he's supposed to be the second coming of Trevor Lawrence, I guess, but he still haven't got it done today. So offensively, if they're smart, Mac Brown is smart, they better keep feeding those two running backs they got,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Carter and Williams, because they're a grown man, they getting it done,
Yeah.
And that kind of taking the pressure off the quarterback because I think he's trying to do too much. And like you said, USC, man, they just, to me, they play a level to the competition. They reading the press clippings too much, and I don't know what's going on, but they definitely drunk the Kool-Aid because see the games when they play somebody good, they play great. When they play somebody that they should blow out, then AKA Florida State, they take a L. So I'm curious to see how they approach Virginia because Virginia is one of those teams that's well coached. North Carolina State, they lost their quarterback, so that had to play in the factor of them taking that L the way they took it. But Virginia got their quarterback back. Trust me, Miami no. And then also Virginia is also they're doing a lot of stuff, Wildcat stuff, so that you can't fall asleep on. And they got a lot of different packages and stuff. So and then Virginia also defense is like you said, man, they're stingy. They get it done. But I see if North Carolina stick with the game plan and be like, forget, let's set up the run, and then that's going to open it up because Virginia last week against Miami, and not like we had a great game against it, but they was out. They're both starting safeties, and that opened up some over-the-top opportunities, and we definitely took advantage of that.
And MB, I think y'all lost a safety in that game too, didn't you?
Yeah, to Targeting.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
Targeting again. Hey, Amari Carter, Targeting. Same thing, man.
Every week.
Same thing.
Okay, MB threw these two games on there. I don't know how he gonna throw these games before.
Oh, we just one line.
Hey, before Charlotte at Duke, baby. I don't know why he gonna put this Rudy Poo in front of us. So
just the knowledge. I think that's your homecoming game, man. I'm surprised you got to do it.
Since he doing this, and let us hurry up and get to a game that we care about. Wake and Syracuse, man. I'm going with Syracuse, man. I don't believe in Wake, man. Syracuse came back and stole a win. I'm going with them, MB.
Oh, you going with Syracuse?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good Lord. I'm going with Wake on that one, man. Wake tired of getting beat up, man. They stole one, man. They feeling good about themselves, so I'm think they're gonna run with the momentum they got, man. Wake can get that W, man.
Now this is an interesting game because Virginia Tech got embarrassed last week by Syracuse. Okay, so that was the game, right? That's why I'm going with Syracuse against Wake. But here we go with Louisville again, MB.
No, you say Virginia Tech got embarrassed by Wake.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Syracuse played Clemson tough. That's when they had the negative press conference. Yeah.
They showed out a little bit against Clemson.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
But Virginia Tech, right, is at Louisville. Virginia Tech, got beat, like you just said, upset by Wake. And then, but they playing a Jekyll and Hyde Louisville, MB. So, Louisville is talented on offense. Defensively, me and you can go back out there, baby.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the thing, man. They Dallas Cowboys coined the term the triplets when they had Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and And Louisville definitely got their version of that, and they seem like a modern day Dallas Cowboys because their defense ain't playing well at all, you know. So that offense, man, is potent. So if they definitely got a chance, I don't know what Virginia Tech looking like as far as defensively, because I know at one point with they dealt with the coronavirus early in the season, but they can't afford not to have their secondary versus these that offense. But you know, I think Louisville kind of woke, man. They kind of upset. So I'm gonna go with Louisville on that one.
Hey, Pac Jam, man. First of all, before we get to the question, what magazine you were taking this picture for? What's going on, man? What in the world? Hey, for us now on, unless you change your picture. Asking, hey, we ain't talking nothing about your question from now on. It's over with. You better put something in there.
Big brother, man.
Hey, look, so Pac Jam say, does Notre Dame really have a shot at winning the ACC? I think they do. With this news about Trevor Lawrence, anything can happen Saturday. Let's
hey,
all right.
Double A.
What he said? What he done said? That's it, baby. Double A, we hear you, baby. You so right. He called him Pat Wagon, I think, last week.
He called him Pat Wagon.
No doubt, man. That was awesome right there. But man, you look at Notre Dame, man, and you obviously you look at the schools that's projected to win. You look at Clemson, obviously. I throw UNC name out there. And they're on the right side to actually pull it out. UNC can beat Notre Dame. To be honest with you, roster for roster, they're better than Notre Dame. I'm just tell you that right up front. But because Notre Dame is playing probably, them and Clemson probably playing the best football in the league, MB. So, I mean, I got to say they have a chance.
Yeah, no doubt. I think especially where it's set up, you know, the thing about it, they're going to have to beat Clemson twice, you know. If they beat them next week, right, then they're going to have to beat them again in an ACC championship game, and they possibly can. Yeah, no doubt. I think they definitely would benefit from it, Pac Jam, you know, if they could pull it off. If you could beat Clemson, and obviously with Clemson, the firepower they have, and you could beat Clemson with Trevor Lawrence, I mean, yeah, you definitely deserve to be part of the party.
And one of the things that I pointed out last week, and I think MB agreed with me, if you can pick up those blitzes, man, I'm really not all that impressed. Yeah. And if you look at the Miami game, it was times where they didn't really pick up the blitz, but De'Aaron was able to make people miss and get out the pocket and make throws. And you saw those aren't the DBs that's been going to the NFL from there. Those aren't the defensive ends that's been going to the NFL. They are popping people wide, just popping people free, MB. Nobody's
beating. When you look at Notre Dame beating Pitt, that's one of the things they did. They took advantage of the 50-50 ball. I mean, that I think it was number 11. I forgot his name, and he was going up and snatching that thing, man. It's getting it done. So they definitely got a shot. But, you know, if they could beat Clemson, they definitely deserve to go. But I don't think they're going to beat Clemson, man.
Well, they thought they were going to hold us winless. We already showed up and proved wrong with that. But we about to get our second win this week, baby. Let's go do. Let's go do.
No doubt.
We finna bash Charlotte, man. We need St. Mary's next week.
Ain't no shame in your game.
It'll be. And we need Miami Northwestern. No, not Northwestern. Let me think of somebody else. We need Miami Carroll City. Yeah, let's go Carroll City. They loaded.
You don't want them. You better go down a little bit loaded.
They ain't loaded.
You better go pay for somebody private school.
They ain't loaded this year. You know how y'all take turns. The kids migrate to one school every year. It ain't that year, MB. So I want Carroll City, baby.
hey, no, you know what? It's different now. When before down in Miami, they were all playing each other, knocking each other off. So what they did, they separated them, got these Miami teams in different class. And I think we won every class but one last year for the state championship.
MB, y'all went 6 for 8, bro.
Yeah, it was 6 for 8.
I'm so sick about that. six
Yeah,
ways.
I mean, it was crazy because before we was playing each other and knocking each other out. Now they don't did that thing sweet where a lot of them in different classification, they get it done, man. Was it because I know St. Thomas won the 8 from 8A all the way down. I mean,
y'all went right up. Right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with that. It should have always been that way in that, you know, this is about numbers. You know,
Hey, you don't want no Kansas City.
What he said?
He said you don't want Kansas City.
Oh, we won't. Oh, we want them this year.
You don't want the Chief, baby. Nah, man. Nah.
Hey, we want Booker T this year.
You don't, man. You better be careful what you ask for, man. You don't want that type of party.
I'm gonna take it how I can get it, baby.
Hey, you better just stick with Charlotte this weekend and get that with Charlotte.
Hey, look. Hey, man, that's a mess. Miami got a bye week, so we ain't gonna talk about them. But of course, they'll be on the wheels and still.
Hope we get better in the bye, man. Last bye, it didn't look so good. Hopefully, we get the fundamentals right, man. Like I say, get rid of the self-inflicted wounds, get better, man. So hopefully, we'll get it right. I'm in Manny Diaz. We trusting right now. I'm trusting the process.
Oh, Manny and Lady Love Ashley, man.
LL, baby.
You know, all the people that was talking about head coach next year, I ain't hearing them no more, though.
Well, I mean, because the offense fluttered a little bit. If we get the offense back on track, they'll be going. You'll start
week 1, baby. He wasn't gonna be in Miami. They finna get him a job in 3 weeks. He was about to get a job.
Well, it was the first 3 weeks because we had UAB, we had Louisville, you know, offense, then Florida State, you know.
And we are in this college football talk, MB, by saying and asking the question to our ballers out there and to you and myself, is this a 3-team race? And what I'm talking about is this the college football playoffs. Is it really even a 4th team? Or is this a 3-team race? Clemson, Ohio State, and Alabama, MB.
Well, no, let your brother tell it right here. He Don King and Brian Kelly. Yeah. he feel like Notre Dame in the mix, you know.
So they the 4. He wanted to. Hey, MB. So ACC representing like that, huh? We got 2 of them.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. You know?
Not Pac-Jam, not Mr. SEC.
He. Yeah, well, you know, Bama is number 1. He ain't getting off that bandwagon until Nick Saban retire, you know.
Hey, he done found out though, MB. He have to big up the SEC or he making Bama look bad. So he done thought about that thing. He used to run through the SEC and just dog them out. Then he realized, boy, the more I make them seem trash, the more Alabama don't look as hot. Yeah. So he's decided that he gonna big up the SEC teams. But I'll answer this, MB. I'll say Nick Saban probably made one of the greatest comments of the season so far. He's given up on defense, MB. He said this is an offensive league.
Oh, wow.
And in order to win the big one, you're going to have to put up some points. And if you look, I know Ohio State only played one game, you guys. But if you look at those 3 teams and then you pull up college football statistics, team statistics, when you're talking about offense and scoring is what it boils down to. You can look at all the rest of that stuff, but who getting it in the end zone? Those 3 teams are top 5.
Yeah.
Top 6.
Right.
So and it's skewed a little bit, you guys. I do know because Ohio State is throwing 1 game in the hat. Okay, so yeah, they're skewing it, but I don't think they're gonna be far from 50 points every week. That's just me. Okay, so when Nick Saban said this, I think a week ago, MB, maybe a little bit longer than that, I was like, really, Nick? Not a defensive guy, because you know Nick is. Hey, man, he trying to keep him 10 points or less in college. Nick done gave it up, man. Nick say you better score some darn points right around here if you want to win.
Yeah, I think some validity to that, but I still think, man, I'm still old school defense win championship, and you gotta have some defense, man. You gotta create some takeaways. You gotta do some things, make the field shorter for the offense, and you gotta have some defense. I think in order to win a championship, it just can't be all offense, you know. And I think you got to have some type of defense, whether it's being on break, create turnovers, do something, because you got to be able to slow somebody down, you know. But obviously, the rules are, especially in NFL, is geared towards the offense. But college ball, I think you got to have some defense, man, to win the championships, you know.
Right. So, moving right along to the NFL, man. It was a horrible game played last night against teams that don't matter. MB, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, you had the toilet bowl, man. The Thursday night toilet bowl, the Falcons against the Carolina Panthers and Falcons.
Who where they play at?
Home Depot. They play at Home Depot, man. And the Falcons ended up getting that W, man. It was a good game. You know, it went down to the wire. Falcons kept getting into the red zone and then selling. Carolina made them settle for some field goals. And I think I see why my man kept running the ball as opposed to, setting up for the field goal against Detroit, because the kicker in Atlanta, I mean, he made 4 for 4 on field goals, but he missed the extra point. I was like, oh, maybe that's why he was like, let me run it a little bit deeper, get it down there.
Get it closer.
But they end up pulling out a W, man. Julio Jones doing his thing, had over 100 yards receiving. Then Atlanta defense, man, stepped up, had some critical sacks and stuff like that. I think they finished like 3 sacks. So they was going out to Teddy Bridgewater a little bit. But obviously, Carolina is a different team without their main guy, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that dude's a beast, and he's their offense, and him in street clothes on the sideline definitely can't help their cause. But I think they're excited about the direction they're having. And it was saying that it was a possibility he could play, but coach said until he's 100%, so that they're going to keep on the sideline. So hopefully he can get it going. But yeah, it was a toilet bowl, man. It was a toilet bowl, and Atlanta ended up pulling it out.
And I feel sorry, man. We all got to feel sorry for one guy, and that's, you named him already, Julio Jones, man. Yeah. Probably number 1 or 2 top best receiver in the NFL, right? And this is probably going back maybe 4 or 5 years. We don't even talk about this guy, MD. He's got that kind of talent. Who does that remind you of? That reminds me of prime time, when prime time was there, when it didn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to have all that talent. And it's campaign season. Why don't we start campaigning for them to trade Julio, man?
I think he's probably the only guy that's untradeable, that they won't trade on that team,
Shucks, MB. Everybody else doing fire sales around here, man. Hey, we can't even keep up no more. Every day somebody gone.
Yeah, no doubt.
To me, this is the most active it's been in some time. And by that I mean they trading and cutting big time players is what I'm talking about. Like, there's always tons of transactions with NFL because of injury. But this is different. They like, you know what, Joker, I ain't doing this no more. Get out. You know what I mean? Joe, hey, your boy with Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Tua, they got rid of Tua.
Yeah, they traded Griffin and got rid of
and Pope.
Yeah, they traded Griffin. And then Cincinnati traded Dunlap to the Seahawks. So yeah, that's the thing.
Right, and then Minnesota just moved they best player on defense. They fire sale.
Who?
The DN.
Hunter?
The last name, I'm gonna tear it up.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tear up the last name. But yeah, like, everybody's like, look, we ain't gonna win with you. And the Jets started out with it. Remember, we was like, they was in the preseason during there, like, what? What are y'all? The Jets, hey, they knew something we didn't know, MB, because everybody started to follow suit.
Yeah, they got a handsome ransom for Jamal Adams, man. I probably made that trade too, especially if they knew where they were headed. They's rebuilding.
Right. So in the NFL, what consequences will come out of these games? And when we talk about consequences, man, we talking about what are the storylines? Like, who probably see and AA say free Julio?
Free Julio.
what storylines are going to come out of these games this week as a result of another loss? And the first one we put on there was New York at Kansas City. Is Adam Gase gone? And the reason why this game is not, and you like, well, shoot, he should have been fired. Like, why he didn't get fired all the other games? Because this game going to be one of them 50-something college scores. That's why it'll be.
Yeah, and you're right. Only thing that can save them is the defense, and their defense been like top 10 and creating takeaways and stuff like that. But they just, my man Greg Williams, he ain't got enough firepower on that defense, And then he actually called out the offense because in the red zone, man, I think they're one of the worst in the NFL. I think they're probably like 25% scoring in the red zone. So and definitely when you got Kansas City, and I mean, if they come ready to play, that's the only thing that could save them right now is Kansas City, because right now they got a little Super Bowl drunkenness. Sometimes they playing to the level of their opponent. They play a Chargers, and they're not playing as well. They're playing some teams that on paper they should blow out, that they're not bringing that A game. So that's the only thing that could save them. But right now, it's a campaign in New York talking about tank the season for Trevor. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully the players ain't buying into that,
Well, look, how about this Buffalo versus New England game? I think you got something to talk about with that one.
Yeah. I mean, right now, Buffalo leading the division, and New England, it's what? New England not leading the division, 2-4, 3 consecutive losses. Oh, my God. Is there officially change of the guard? Is there a new team?
I told you it was graded. I told you the whole time it was graded.
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. So it's a change in the guards. We'll find out officially, because right now, Sean McDermott, the head coach of Buffalo Bills, he's 0 for 6, facing never won a game against New England. So it seems, well, based on all indications, man, this thing about the change, and then with Cam struggling the way he is since he's been back from COVID, he got to get on track, on track, facing a tough Buffalo Bills defense. So I don't know, man. I think New England is definitely changing the guard, bro.
Minnesota at Green Bay. What could possibly happen as a result of this game? Because Minnesota is a team going into the season, I think you picked them to win the division, and they have. You didn't? I thought it was Minnesota.
It could have. I mean, it was all a dream, and it turned into a nightmare. If I picked them, good Lord, I mean, they really don't have an excuse. I mean, they traded for my man Yankees from Jacksonville Jaguars, got him to take less money just to play. They made all the changes. You think like, man, they added more firepower to the defense. Kirk Cousins, man, do you like that? You like this, I mean, no, I don't like what you're doing this year. Golly, leading the league in interception with double digit with 10, only throwing 11 touchdowns, man. I mean, they're a team that's stinking it up, and they don't have a reason. I mean, they getting with some injuries right now at the corner spot, but for them to start the way they start and do what they're doing, they're ones that really don't have an excuse.
The end is Yannick Nuko, I think. I'm sure I'm ripping his name, but it's Yannick.
They traded. They traded for him from Jacksonville. That's who they got from Jacksonville. They traded him.
Yeah, they traded him.
They got rid of him.
He's in Baltimore today.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I knew it was a name I really couldn't.
Oh, my God. They just traded for him. That's the one from Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, he gone.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, they having a few issues around here.
Oh, man, that's crazy, Klew.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, so now, I mean, I love Zimmer. I love what he brings to the table. I love old school guy getting it done. But I mean, you can't afford, I mean, to have this type of season with the talent you have. You don't have any excuses. I know Devin Cook a little beat up, but shoot, he's been playing well. The quarterback's been the problem. You just redid his deal, paid him all that money, and Kirk Cousins ain't getting it done. And defensively, you're giving up over 400-something yards total defense, and that's supposed to be the bread and butter of your team. So man, I mean, a lot of changes can be made. Kirk Cousins even say he continue to go. He's going to get a bench. And man, I hope Zimmer, because I love Zimmer. I hope this don't, I mean, dang, I hope Zimmer don't get fired, you know? He waited so long to get that opportunity. I thought he was building something special at Minnesota. So hopefully, man, I don't know, but if you, with the talent they have, man, and they were setting this up, they were expecting some good things like Super Bowl or bust. They just got that new stadium up there a few years ago. I mean, man, that posse could be on the hill and they could be coming down and firing some people, making some changes, you know?
Right. So Dallas and Philly. Now, obviously, MB's looking at the lead, the NFC East lead at stake with 3 wins, baby. Washington has a bye, so these teams are safe, whichever one takes full control of the division.
Yeah, and Washington got a bye this week, so whoever win got a head start. They're gonna get the 3, you know, so they'll be ready to go.
So win on 3 takes on a completely different meaning, don't it?
Oh yeah,
but when I look at this, MB, I look straight at Carson Wentz and I say, is it over for him? And I'm gonna throw that out there. Like, if he loses now, like, he's gotten paid a king's ransom, and is it now time for Jalen Hurts?
Ooh, ooh,
yeah, I went a whole completely different.
I know you threw me with that. That'll be tough. I mean, if you lose against the Cowboys, who potentially may be starting a rookie quarterback, you know,
right?
And defensively, you know, they traded some pieces. They got, like you mentioned earlier, they got rid of some pieces and stuff, but they still got the firepower on offense. If this guy can go, I mean, that's a bad loss, though. I don't care where you sum it up.
Right.
And if you don't play well, I mean, golly, against this defense, I mean, the Philly fans, they like New York fans. They 1 minute they cheering, the next minute they booing you in a minute, you know.
Yes,
and they're the only stadium that had a judge in the jail cell at the stadium that brotherly love. They switch out on your minutes. So yeah, I can see that. I hope that's not the case, you know, with Carson, because I like the dude as a person, like what he brings to the table. Just been beat up with injuries, been holding him back in his development, because when he's been on. But man, yeah, I agree on that, Klew. That's tough. I can see that happening, you know.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and skip down real quick and go to going against the grain, because I may have to it look like my computer tripping right now.
Okay, go jump to it.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna go against it hard like I do every week. I'm going New England game was too easy to go against the grain, because that's an easy pick to go with New England. So I let them be talked bad about that game and all that, but that was an easy one. But to me, Chicago over New Orleans Saints, a New Orleans Saints team that's doing all the right things, hitting on all cylinders right now, and a Chicago team that can't find offense nowhere. Okay, I'm going against the grain and saying them Bears going, and I think everybody in TV picked New Orleans, and I'm going against the grain.
Okay, so, I mean, I can see that, because New Orleans right now, they out there top receivers. They 3 top receivers out. Michael Thomas, he still ain't playing yet. He's
man, it's rumors about him, MB, that he might be moving on.
Yeah, I mean,
starting to start about.
Yeah, you can see, because he's not playing this week again, and then the other guy, Callaway, who's a undrafted guy, I believe, had a good game last week, 7 catches, and he's not playing. And then Sanders is out. So, I mean, Drew Brees a bad dude, but he needs some help. And Alvin Kamara, they got to get it done. And defensively, New Orleans Saints, you know, that their efficiency is not that good at all. So, Klew having some issues. So yeah, I can see Klew going to grain. I can see that happening. He's been on fire going against the grain. So I definitely can see that being the case, you know. LT, what's up there, boy? What that piece snot? Come on, man. Don't tell all my secrets, man. Come on, Roomy. Man, he talking about, like, back in the day, my BC days before Christ, man, I was I wasn't a big drinker anyway, man. I like little fruity type drinks. So peach schnapps, man, I think he turned me on to that, man. I used to like some peach schnapps with some orange juice, man. That thing there. And then look at him, boy. He trying to tell all my business. Look at him. Don't bring me no hot. So come on, man. Avoid the North, baby. Avoid the North. Fuzzy neighbor. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. No doubt, man. No doubt. Let me see what else we got on this list, man. No, he dropped down to there. Talking about Tua, Miami, home team. All right. When they lose, my uncle used to call them the Mullets, baby. They got the Rams and they starting Tua. First start this season. First start, man. What you guys think? Double A, what's your thoughts on that, man? Can Tua do it? I was like, man, you need to wait a week, man. Golly, you starting against that Ram defense with Aaron Donald. All right. I mean, arguably the best defensive player NFL this year or past few years getting it done. I mean, I'm like, ooh, maybe y'all need to rethink that a little bit. You know, that defense, the Rams got me coming on strong, and obviously they're in a tough division with the NFC West, where everybody got 5 wins. They trying to get it done, so they ain't trying to take it easy on nobody. You know. Yeah, exactly, LT. Beware 99, man. That Joker's a beast, man. He remind me of 99 from the U. So I don't know. I'm with you, Double A. It don't make no sense starting him, you know? I mean, why? You know, so maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe look good in practice. I don't know. So we'll see. Maybe hopefully for his sake, we'll be saying something totally different after this game. Like, oh, yeah, I see why they started and da-da-da-da-da and blah, 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 you know? So hopefully that's the case. You know, I really thought this year he was just going to treat it like a red shirt, man, because you got Fitzpatrick. He's doing his thing. You know, he's hot and cold, but he'll good stopgap until you get this guy going, you know. One game that we definitely need to talk about is this Pitt in Baltimore. Oh, my God. Hey, this is for the AFC Central right now, getting it done. Right now, You look at Vegas, they're projecting Baltimore to beat the undefeated Steelers, man. What's you guys' thought on it? Oh, yeah, Hawaii. Oh, I ain't going that route. I ain't going that. I ain't even going that way, Double A. I ain't even going that way, Double A. What's the thing, man? But just the fact he's back, Hill, you're right. Hawaii or not, I mean, just the fact, man. I'm hoping it's that Holy Ghost power because he's a Christian that's healing him, man. Hopefully, he'll be protected out there, man. But if he's healed, ready to go, I mean, arguably he was selected or predicted to be the number 1 pick of the draft, and then getting hurt, and the Dolphins able to get him. Yeah. So, but the Pittsburgh. So Double A, you going with the Steelers, and LT, what you said, man? That's a tough one. It is a tough one, man. And you talking about defense and then quarterbacks, man. I want to go with the Steelers. That's my team. But you just don't know what you get out of Big Ben, man. He be point shaving out there sometime, man. I don't know what. I love him, man. I love his heart, but he be careless with the ball, man. And they came out an article, him and Tom Brady, about to break the records for being sacked the most time. And Ben try to make stuff happen, but sometimes Ben just be doing some he be out there street balling, man. And you can't afford a street ball with Baltimore Ravens defense, man, because they be swarming. And then if that's true what Klew's saying about Yannick, man, getting picked up, being traded by the Vikings, man, he's not going to be able to play this week, just with the whole COVID protocol thing, unless he already tested positive and he ain't got to sit out. But, yeah, exactly. But Big Ben, LT, man, be point shaving, man. He be careless. He be careless with that ball, man. So I want to go with the Steelers. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Steelers. But, man, it's all based on the quarterback play. And then the Steelers right now leading sack leaders with, I think, 17 sacks in the league. Their defense been playing extremely well. They had a injury with Devin Bush. I mean, that dog, he's a great player, great young player, but they're definitely getting it done defensively and a hard team to run. So with that spread offense that Baltimore like to do and the play action pass to set everything up, man, they definitely should give Baltimore some issues, but it's definitely going to be a classic, man. And this is like the 25th meeting between Tomlin and Harbaugh. So this is definitely going to be one that's not going to be disappointing. Yeah, that's unchristian like points. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to pray for him, man. It's just I don't know what to say, man. We need to pray for Big Ben that he protect that ball, man, and stop doing too much. He's got some players around him getting something done, man. But some stuff, man, he threw 3 picks last week and easily could have threw some more. And he just got to be better with the ball, man, and stop point shaving, right? Hot rod, no doubt. Well, listen, fellas, I appreciate you guys coming on. Let me see anything. Oh, Klew had this for Trap Alert. All right, what you think about this game, the trap game? Don't take the cheese. Tennessee versus Cincinnati. Tennessee versus Cincinnati. Ooh, I Trap Alert. You know, could Tennessee be looking ahead? I don't know why. Because if you see what I see with Cincinnati, obviously they don't have a lot of outstanding players, but man, that quarterback, he's gonna be special. He's getting it done. Joe Mixon on offense. Right now, they got to surround that kid around with some more talent, but Cincinnati don't have enough talent yet to be. But you can't sleep on them because they'll definitely put an L on you, and they definitely battling. They're playing hard, you know. They just don't have talent. But the difference to me is Tennessee running game, man. With Derrick Henry is a grown man. That's a grown man getting it done. So I don't see that being them taking the cheese as long as they keep giving that dude the ball. Klew, what's up, man? You got your green background on, man.
I know, man. This the phone, though. How you put a background on there? I ain't never really done it like this, but that one time.
Don't even worry about it. I took your trap thing, man. So you ain't gotta worry about it.
Okay.
So I was just telling about the trap game, and I was just saying, like, I don't think Tennessee gonna take the cheese,
right?
Because of their running game, man. You know.
But you had me last week thinking about that because you mentioned it with college, and I said, sometimes, in the league, the same thing happens.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna call it the trap game, just like MB did.
Yeah, no doubt. And I definitely agree, and I definitely can see why. But if I'm looking at Joe Burrows, man, I mean, he's Cincinnati don't have enough talent around him, but he seems like he's gonna be a special type of player, man. They fight hard, And but
Absolutely.
The thing about it, just the way Tennessee is built, the fact they love running the ball, and Derrick Henry loved carrying the tote, right? I just think overall, just from that mindset, that, man, just with the running game itself, because Cincinnati, man, they can't play dead in the cowboy move, stopping the run. Their defense is not good at all, and their offensive line is not good. So from a defensive standpoint, I don't see how they're going to stop Tennessee offense. So that's what I'm saying. Just because of the run game and mentality that Variable have going into games, running the ball and whatnot, I think that prevents the trap game from happening.
I definitely get that, because one thing we've always was told and actually showed it and was able to see it. Defense travels.
Yes.
Defense travels. And guess what, guys? Run game generally travels too.
Yeah, no doubt.
And like you said, they do both of those very well. But I'm gonna throw this other monkey wrench in the game.
What's that?
It's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah.
It's a 1 o'clock game. Now, I'm an early bird, y'all. Listen, it was tougher for me to play at night. Just so y'all know, like, Monday night games, I hated life, MB. Hated life. Like, miserable. Because I'm those nervous Nellies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't. My bubble guts until I get that first hit. I can't eat or nothing. So I'm going all night on an empty stomach till I play. So when you look back at a 1 o'clock game, I used to notice a lot of guys weren't ready to play. A lot of guys still looked like they were asleep. A lot of guys, it took them a quarter or two to just get started. And that might be enough. That's another reason why I said it's a trap game, just because the time was.
Right, no doubt. Usually that affects guys when it's I don't know what my son doing over there. Usually that affects West Coast teams when you have that 1 o'clock game. That's where they don't like the schedule. But I don't know. That's a good point. I got to think about that. Hold on a second, Caleb. Caleb, they want to get your opinion about what your thoughts about Pitt and Baltimore, and then about Tua as well. Go ahead and take over.
Well, I love unlike MB, I love what Pittsburgh doing, man. Mike Tomlin been able to do this for quite some time, man. He hang around, and then when it's a year that is not a whole lot of dominant teams, he come rising to the top, and I think he's gonna do that again. I think they're better than Baltimore. Baltimore. I think Baltimore has given us their best. We've seen what they're capable of. And teams have cracked the code now, man. And unless Lamar Jackson turns this thing into his Heisman year back at Louisville, man, I think Baltimore is gonna struggle because he's the only X factor. Teams have shown they can stop the run. Teams have shown that when they keep him in the pocket, they can stop him throwing the ball down the field. What nobody can stop is when he's willing and dealing, shaking and moving, breaking fools down and getting to that house, making them house calls. So that's the issue. So I think, I like Pitt. I like Pittsburgh in this game.
Yeah, I said the same thing. My only
That's
concern
crazy.
about Big Ben, I was like, he point shaving sometimes, man. That's my only issue with him point shaving. But I got Pittsburgh to win as well.
Okay. And you said
And
another
Tua,
question.
they want you to talk about Tua. What's your thoughts on Tua,
Okay,
David?
so I was a Tua. I believe, and see, they need to go back to our preseason show, MB, because we discussed this at length. You really felt like they were going to go this route and they were going to play him eventually, and you hit the nail on the head. If you remember, I was against it. I didn't want to see him till next year.
Well, you said
I did
actually
not.
2 years. 2 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
see right. I wanted him. Well, what I wanted to do with them to ease him in like they doing now next year. So that's the 2 years I was calling. You know what I mean? The second year, ease him in. Because of the first year, I just wanted him to make sure he was healthy and that he healed and that he was ready to take shots. Because he's a guy that's gonna run the football. And all running quarterbacks that make transition from college to pro, they all have to figure out how to slide. They all have to learn how to slide. They take major shots early on in their career, and we look and cringe and be like, boy, you ain't gonna be running that thing long doing it like that. And I think nothing's gonna change just because he's been hurt. He's still listen. It's just like and I see Lamar was asking a question about Pittsburgh. Lamar, no, man. When it's all said and done, you go right back to playing like you was when you was in that backyard, baby, getting it in. You obviously got a whole lot of mindset, thought, knowledge, talent, but man, if you ran it hard and you used to try to truck jokers when you was in the backyard, that's what you gonna do. If you until you learn to do something different. And guess what? He's made that transition. He wasn't sliding last year at Clemson. I mean, excuse me, at Alabama. He wasn't sliding. He ain't gonna slide right now. Early on, till they make him slide.
Hopefully, he learned his lesson. He'll slide a little bit, man. But because I think he's more of the far as running wise, more Russell. Not trying
Right.
to not. He's not like Lamar. He's looking to pass downfield. But the thing is, with that, a lot of rookie quarterbacks, man, they hold on the ball too long. And you
That's
facing
it.
this Aaron Donald-led defense, man, and their offensive line, even though they made some changes on the offensive line, is still one of the worst as far as pass protection and stuff like that. So I'm just like, why pick this week? Pick a different week. Who else on your schedule? Don't throw them to the wolves, man. You facing arguably the best defensive lineman or defensive player the past few years in NFL. And you facing him, man. Aaron Donalds, man. He's like, man, rookie quarterback, soft offensive line. I'm about to get it. He gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
Look. And
But,
Lamar, you hear what he's saying. I'm scared, kid, because I had the same hip injury and I decided to retire. That's serious.
Yeah.
To think that it took a big time pro like Lamar and sidelined him. Look, he's playing a quarterback position where he's more, a lot of times a little bit more at risk because most of the time Lamar is able to see who was trying to come hit him, and be able to adjust to it. This guy right here, hey, we trying to get him any way we can.
Yeah, no doubt. But that kid got a lot of heart, man, and just the fact that he bounced back from it and doing what he's doing, I mean, I guess he hey, he ain't trying to go out until his cup is finished, I guess. I don't know.
And Double A saying that's the same. He had the same issue.
No, he's asking Lamar, was that the same as Bo Jackson? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, that's what he's asking. But man,
yeah, I don't know either. But man, that's huge. And Lamar took us a whole nother direction with that. Yeah, and that's great insight, man. And them his fans too down there.
yeah, no doubt. That's so true. That's my Uncle Mullets, man. So he call them the Mullets when they lose, and basically it seemed to me they about to take another L. So just think about, you look at how the rookie quarterbacks are doing this year. Maybe that has some reason to push them along further. Right. Everybody else taking out their new cars. You see Burrows at Cincinnati. You see Herbert at the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, hey, let's see what our guy can do too. So right. It could be that. You know what I'm saying? As far as those guys, and then like you mentioned, man, if Carson Wentz play a bad game, maybe Jalen Hurts now being pushed out.
Hey, well, I tell you what, Carson ain't gonna cry, boy. I sure know he ain't. Yeah, he sure whooped them.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's it. Maybe the pressure of those other young quarterbacks forced to play this year or playing this year, maybe that went into the decision making from ownership or whoever's down there in charge. Like, hey, let's see what our guy could do. Sometimes that pressure bust pipe, man, and that goes into it. Because on paper, I'm like trying to figure out, why is he starting against the Rams? Set him up for success, not for failure. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. And Lamar states that, yes, I fractured and dislocated my hip. That just sounds like he was in a car crash. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, wow. The fact that Lamar's still getting around, okay, is a testament to his who he was as an athlete and his hard work, man.
LT, baby. LT, all-state basketball, all-state football, Gainesville High. No, not Buchholz, not Gainesville High.
Uh-oh.
Baby. I can't say the wrong thing.
Hey, them fight words.
I know, right? I can't say the wrong team. Good Lord. Not the Hurricane.
And that was your room dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's my room dog, man.
Yeah.
Torturing me, man. He cut my hair one time, man, and left a spot right in there. I couldn't even see it, I'm trusting this dude. I went to a party and I had a little spot. On the back of my head. He got me. I was trying to kill that joker. Yo, I got you right, LT. Buchholz, baby.
Yeah. You see it. He had the correction.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight word around there, man. Hey, folks done lost their life for less round now. So, hey, man, we appreciate y'all ballers coming to holler at us. Check us out, man. Again, man, we know you guys take time out of your busy schedules to listen in to us, tune in to us, man, and we don't take it lightly. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And from sideline to baseline, man, you check us out. We'll be back Monday, and we gonna Pac Jam had an idea, man. We might need to start working on that.
What's that?
Baseball families, baby.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. We definitely need to get that one going.
Yeah. And how about this? I spoke with Jamal's father today. Actually, he was trying to get on LB, and he couldn't get on. I say, man, you should have called me. I could have walked you through it. He's like, man, I don't know about this computer like that.
Let's try to see if we can get them on, man. That'll be great. Get the whole family on, man.
Yeah, and actually the sister now is coaching at Xavier, man. Track. Okay. Yeah. So they all doing their thing, man.
Get that done, man.
Well, from sideline to baseline with MB and Klew.
Hey, Lou.
We are out of here, y'all.
All right, peace. Appreciate y'all. Oh, Klew gone.